Pope Francis has made a historic decision. He has announced that he will step down as the leader of the Catholic Church at the end of the month. This news has sent shockwaves around the world, as he becomes only the second pope in modern history to resign instead of serving until death. His resignation marks the end of an era of reform, progress, and controversy. Pope Francis has cited health reasons for his decision, stating that he believes leadership should transition when necessary. However, many believe that there is more to this story. Throughout his decade-long papacy, Pope Francis has faced immense opposition from conservative factions within the Vatican. Could this internal pressure have played a role in his decision to step down? During his time as Pope, Francis made bold moves to change the Catholic Church. He pushed for financial transparency, took strong action against abuse scandals, and promoted a more compassionate and inclusive approach to faith. These efforts earned him admiration from many, but also strong resistance from traditionalists who were against his progressive changes. As the pressures mounted, did Pope Francis feel that his mission was complete? Or was he forced out by those who opposed his vision for the Church? The timing of Pope Francis's resignation is significant. It coincides with the Jubilee of Hope, a symbolic year for renewal and transformation within the Church. By stepping down now, Pope Francis may be paving the way for a new leader who can continue his mission. And that leader has now been revealed: Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. Cardinal Tagle is a surprising yet significant choice. He comes from the Philippines, a country with the largest Catholic population in Asia. His rise to the papacy marks a major shift in the Church's direction. But is he the right choice to lead the Church during these challenging times? Cardinal Tagle has long been seen as a close ally and protege of Pope Francis. They share a similar vision for a more open, compassionate, and progressive Church. Tagle is known for his humility, charity work, and strong connection with marginalized communities. His leadership of Caritas Internationalis, the Church's largest humanitarian organization, has demonstrated his dedication to global outreach. He has worked extensively to assist refugees and advocate for social justice. However, not everyone supports his approach. While Tagle is beloved by many, his stance on certain political issues has been met with criticism. His views on China and religious relations in Asia have sparked debate. As Pope, he will need to navigate these complex geopolitical issues while maintaining the Church's spiritual and moral leadership. One of Tagle's greatest strengths is his ability to connect with young Catholics. In today's world, where younger generations are moving away from organized religion, his ability to engage and inspire them is invaluable. His speeches are often filled with warmth, humor, and personal stories that resonate with young believers. His leadership could be a key factor in revitalizing faith among the youth. The appointment of an Asian pope is historic. It reflects the Church's recognition of the growing importance of Catholicism in Asia. The number of Catholics in Asia is rising, and Tagle's leadership could bring new energy to the Church's global mission. However, this shift also presents challenges. How will he manage relations with other major religions in the region? How will he address tensions between faith and politics in countries where Catholicism is a minority religion? One of the biggest tasks ahead for Tagle is continuing the reforms set in motion by Pope Francis. This includes increasing financial transparency within the Vatican, strengthening policies to prevent abuse scandals, and ensuring accountability within the Church's leadership. Will he have the strength to push forward with these reforms? Or will conservative opposition make it difficult for him to implement change? Balancing tradition with modernization will be another challenge. The Catholic Church is deeply rooted in centuries-old traditions, but it must also adapt to the modern world. Issues such as LGBTQ+ inclusion, the role of women in the Church, and interfaith dialogue remain highly divisive topics. How Tagle addresses these matters could define his papacy. Will he take a more progressive stance like Pope Francis, or will he be forced to take a more cautious approach? Climate change and global inequality are also major concerns for the Catholic Church. Pope Francis was outspoken about the Church's responsibility in addressing these global issues. Tagle has also emphasized that faith must translate into action. Under his leadership, we may see greater collaboration between the Vatican and international organizations to tackle these pressing concerns. The road ahead for Cardinal Tagle is uncertain. His appointment has been met with enthusiasm in many circles, but skeptics question whether he can truly lead the Church through its most challenging era. Will he be able to uphold the progressive legacy of Pope Francis, or will internal opposition force him to make compromises? Regardless of what happens, one thing is certain. The Catholic Church is undergoing a profound transformation. Pope Francis's resignation and Tagle's rise mark the beginning of a new chapter. This transition could reshape the Church for generations to come. As the world watches this historic moment unfold, there are many questions that remain unanswered. Will this transition bring the renewal that Pope Francis envisioned? Or will it lead to further divisions within the Church? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear: history is being made before our very eyes. The impact of Pope Francis's resignation will be felt far beyond the Vatican. His leadership changed the Catholic Church in many ways. He was a leader who spoke about compassion, justice, and the need for a more inclusive Church. Now, his departure leaves a void that Cardinal Tagle must fill. The question is, will he be able to rise to the challenge? Tagle's leadership will be tested from the very beginning. He will need to address pressing issues, such as financial, corruption, declining church attendance, and the role of the Church in modern society. His ability to navigate these challenges will determine the success of his papacy. As Pope Francis steps down and Cardinal Tagle takes the helm, the Catholic Church faces a defining moment in its history. Will this be a time of renewal and transformation? Or will the forces of resistance push back against change? The future of the Church is at a crossroads, and the choices made in the coming months will shape its path for years to come. This is a time of uncertainty but also of hope. Pope Francis has paved the way for reform, and now it is up to Cardinal Tagle to continue that journey. His leadership will determine the direction of the Church and its role in the modern world. As we move forward, the eyes of millions will be on him, waiting to see how he leads the Church into the future. In the end, the story of Pope Francis and Cardinal Tagle is not just about leadership, it is about the future of faith, tradition, and the evolving role of the Catholic Church in a rapidly changing world. The decisions made now will shape history, and the world is watching every step of the way.